Hi guys! Welcome to Plant Care Tips channel. In this video, I will talk about begonia plant care. Begonias are some of the most beautiful, visually interesting plants you can grow indoors. However, they can be a bit picky about light and water, though not overly delicate, making them a great intermediate-level plant project. Here's what you need to know. There is virtually no end to begonia variety. With over 1,000 species and many more varieties and hybrids, begonias come in countless colors, sizes, and shapes. There are 4 main types: fibrous, tuberous, canes, and rhizomatous. All begonias types just need a good bright location out of direct sunlight and they're all set to grow, look beautiful and flower happily. The flowering types struggle in dark or very poorly lit areas, whereas the begonias grown purely for foliage fare a little better. No begonia will be happy for very long if exposed to direct harsh sunlight, so this needs to be avoided. Begonia problems in the majority of cases can be traced back to a watering issue, either too much or too little, and often it's the former. They of course need water like any houseplant, especially when growing strongly, but as soon as you give too much the problems start. They rot easily and diseases like botrytis can strike. The soil needs to dry out a little between each watering, so when in doubt about whether to water again, wait a few more days. Begonias do prefer humid locations if given the choice and will often struggle in very dry arid places in your home, such as near fireplaces and by radiators. The normal ways you might increase humidity, such as misting the leaves or placing your plant in a steamy bathroom, will often not work well, because begonias dislike intense constant moisture on their leaves. Instead, your choice of placement is more important. They can be hungry plants at certain times of the year, so it's a good idea to feed your begonia when it's growing and flowering. Once every month during this period is probably realistic and a good approach to take. If you've a tuberous type, look for a feed high in potash/potassium to support the blooms. If you've another type of begonia, a standard houseplant feed is perfect. The normal usual home temperatures are fine for all begonias, and they aren't overly fussy about occasional highs or lows in temperature. Although you must avoid any prolonged exposure to temperatures which are approaching freezing. Young plants and cuttings will need repotting as they grow, but established plants will only need repotting every couple of years at most. This is primarily to refresh the growing medium rather than due to their expanding root growth. Plant begonias using a soilless potting mix in a pot with good drainage in the bottom. Begonias are particularly susceptible to root rot, so it can also be a good idea to add a layer of pebbles or broken shards of old terracotta pots to the bottom for extra drainage. Repot begonias in a pot one size larger only when the pot becomes root-bound. Begonias are toxic to pets, according to the ASPCA, though the most toxic portions of the plant are the underground tubers and roots. How fast a begonia grows will depend on the type you have as well as the time of year. However, in general, during the warm months of the year, and with correct care, growth will be moderately fast. See you in the next video.